We've heard stories about where Kevin Durant could be playing this entire season. We've heard trade rumors to the likes of the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors. You name the team, and it seems like they're going to be linked somehow to Kevin Durant in any type of trade rumors that have been going on this offseason since the beginning of July when NBA free agency first started. Well, now you can add another team to this list, and that, of course, is the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the best teams in the NBA, and it looks like, according to Shams Saraya, that they're making inquiries about potentially making a trade for one of the best players in the NBA, Kevin Durant. And we're going to see if Memphis is going to be able to ante up the types of first-round picks and young talent that the Brooklyn Nets are looking for in order to make a trade potentially happen, and if Kevin Durant could still be on the move away from the Brooklyn Nets this offseason. What's going on, everybody? This is NYG Jeffy T 3285. I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend and the beginning of your work week is going very well so far. Now, I just got a little bit of breaking news that just happened this morning around the Brooklyn Nets as the ever-going Kevin Durant trade rumors and trade saga continue to fly by as this offseason propels towards the beginning of September in a couple of weeks. And you could add another team to the list of teams that are trying to think about trading for a guy like Kevin Durant, as now the Memphis Grizzlies, who had made earlier indications in the offseason about potentially trading for Kevin Durant, have looked like they've come back on the table of potentially trying to get Kevin Durant in Memphis to team up potentially with a guy like Ja Morant over there in Memphis with the Grizzlies. Now, the types of the trade package that the Memphis Grizzlies would have to offer, they look like that they're right now not inclined. According to Shams, the Memphis Grizzlies right now don't seem inclined to be including Jaren Jackson Jr. or Desmond Bane in any type of trades at all, as the Memphis Grizzlies completely see is that they believe Jaren Jackson, the power forward, 22-year-old, out of Michigan State, is still a big-time building block for them going forward, as they want to keep him and Ja Morant together for the foreseeable future, as well as Desmond Bane, who they drafted out of TCU, the 24-year-old shooting guard. They want to keep these guys together as a team, and they're willing to offer their 5 first-round picks over the next few years in order to acquire Kevin Durant. But as we know, earlier, about a week ago, there was a report that came out stating that the Brooklyn Nets are not necessarily looking for just draft capital in terms of any type of trade involving Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, as they are looking for win-now players and guys that they could still compete and be able to have a chance to make the playoffs if, in fact, they do deal a Kevin Durant or a Kyrie Irving. And in this case, the Nets are probably not going to be interested in just making a flat-out trade for a guy for trading away Kevin Durant just for a bunch of first-round picks and players that are not proven or still college prospects. So the Nets are probably going to still go over there, and you know for a fact that they're going to be asking for a Desmond Bane and or a Jaren Jackson Jr. in any type of trade involving Kevin Durant. So the question is, will Memphis be too hesitant to budge on that type of deal, and they are just too steadfast in not including a guy like Jaren Jackson or Desmond Bane in any type of trade at all? Maybe they try to throw out there a guy like Dylan Brooks, who the small forward, 26-year-old out of Oregon. Maybe they try to throw that in there and try to entice the deal, get another decent young player that they could throw out there. Maybe they try to get a Jared Culver, 23-year-old guard out of North Carolina. Maybe try to throw in there a guy like Steven Adams, a veteran center over there, 29 years old, still not that old, solid player from Pittsburgh. They try to do anything they can to sweeten up that deal so they don't have to get rid of their young core players that they want to try to keep around Ja Morant, and if they could potentially acquire a guy like Kevin Durant. But I don't know if the Nets are going to be interested at all in trading away Kevin Durant to the Memphis Grizzlies if, in fact, it's not going to include some of those young players the Nets desire in any type of trade involving Kevin Durant. So I think the Nets are going to decline this offer right now. Even if it's 5 first-round picks, the Nets are probably going to want a couple of those young players from the Memphis Grizzlies, and especially a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., who, yes, he's had some struggles at times, but he's still 22 years old, power forward, which the Nets could desperately need because they do need front court help on that team right now. And you plug in a guy like Jaren Jackson, on that roster, he instantly is going to become the best power forward on that team, and he's going to be a building block for the Brooklyn Nets to go forward with if, in fact, they do swing a trade with the Memphis Grizzlies for Kevin Durant. So this is something to monitor right now. Just going back to the beginning of the video, and the rumor that's going out there right now is that the Memphis Grizzlies, according to Sham Saranya of NBA of Hoops Hype, that the Memphis Grizzlies have made some more inquiries about potentially acquiring Kevin Durant in a trade with the Brooklyn Nets. But they are right now, at the moment, reluctant to trade away Desmond Bane or Jaren Jackson Jr. in any type of trade for Kevin Durant. It's just a question of if the Nets go in there and ask for one or both of those young players, will the Memphis Grizzlies continue to be hesitant, or will they cave in and allow the Nets to acquire those two players if it's going to get them Kevin Durant in the end and push Memphis over the edge as potentially a team that could go over there and win an NBA championship? Because with Ja Morant in place, they have a good young core, but maybe they're believing if they can get a guy like Kevin Durant, get him that second true superstar to pair with Ja Morant, it could push them over the edge with the good young core they have around them, and they're willing to sacrifice those first-round picks if it means that they're going to have a better chance at winning an NBA championship in the next couple of years with the core of Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, and a bunch of good young core players around them. So that's just my latest video update, latest video rumor update that I just heard about Kevin Durant involving the Memphis Grizzlies. So if you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, please subscribe to NYG Jeffy T 3285, where you're going to get more breaking news, updates, chatter, as well as roster updates surrounding the Brooklyn Nets, as well as other roster updates and rumors surrounding the New York Giants, New York Mets, WWE Wrestling, as well as your food for thought occasionally. Turn on the bell for notifications on when you're going to get the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. And leave a comment below for all you Brooklyn Nets fans or just NBA fans out there. Leave a comment below on the video on what you think about the Memphis Grizzlies now putting their hands in a potential deal for Kevin Durant, and what you would hope the Brooklyn Nets are going to be willing to ask for to get Kevin Durant in, to get some of these young players in from Memphis to Brooklyn in order to facilitate a trade for Kevin Durant going forward. So this is going to be interesting to see. But I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Monday morning / afternoon. Everybody take it easy. Have a great day. And let's go Brooklyn Nets. You know it. It's a Nets world, and we're just living in it. Let's go Brooklyn Nets. Nets world, everyone.